The international legal definition of the crime of genocide is found in Articles 2 and 3 of the 1948 Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of Genocide. Article 2 describes two elements of the crime of genocide. One, the mental element, meaning the intent to destroy in whole or in part a national, ethnical, racial, or religious group. And two, the physical element, which includes 5 acts described in sections A, B, C, D, and E. A crime must include both elements to be called genocide. Article 2. A. Killing members of the group.
If you look at violent interracial crime, black-white crime, there are about 1 million acts of violent black-white crime in a given year. And by violent, I mean rape, murder, robbery, manslaughter. About 90% of that involves a black perpetrator and 90% involves a white victim.
B. Causing serious bodily or mental harm to members of the group.
Vill du vara svensk här då? I Södertälje?
Ja, alltså man får ju ta en del.
Man får en lite skit för att man är svensk.
Svenne är ju väldigt vanligt. Absolut.
Svenne är vanligt?
Ja. Nej, så jävla svenne.
Jävla svenne, ja, okej.
Det är helt okej för lärare och klassrum och käfta jävla svenne. Det är lugnt.
Fel när det blir liksom... när det återspeglas åt andra hållet.
De säger ju typ alltid att det är vi som är rasisterna, men det känns som att det börjar bli lite tvärtom.
Den är med utanför, alltså vi ber nedtittare.
Vi ner oss för att vi är, ska man säga, svenskar.
Som bor där.
Som bor där.
Vi är minoritet, ja.
Today I want to talk about racism in America and, well, basically around everywhere. And how it's always directed against the white guy. And it's always the white guy's problem, you know, it's always his fault. And we're in a situation because of
Pride recently. Have you guys seen that movie? Anybody see that? It's about the first all-black swim team and the difficulties they had to go through being the first all-black swim team. Let me ask you a question. How many of those white people are evil movies are they going to make? It's like it's all the way down to swimming. You know? I'm starting to run out of white guilt, you know?
C. Deliberately inflicting on the group conditions of life calculated to bring about its physical destruction in whole or in part.
I think there's a resurgence of anti-Semitism because at this point in time, Europe has not yet learned how to be multicultural. And I think we're going to be part of the throes of that transformation, which must take place. Europe is not going to be the monolithic societies that they once were in the last century. Jews are going to be at the center of that. It's a huge transformation for Europe to make. They are now going into a multicultural mode, and Jews will be resented because of our leading role.
Then why do so many people want to come here if we're so bad?
Because there are places where they can do good here. If we allow for that to happen and we create change.
Change?
Change.
So that means a changing America. You want it?
Of course America has to change.
Right. And you'd like the changing America to be the dominant people would be people of color.
That's going to happen anyway.
But you want it to happen, do you not?
A new report out by the government shows that by the year 2042, white Americans will no longer represent the majority of the population. That prediction is 8 years sooner than previously expected.
Is this multicultural campaign really about diversity? Or is it about stamping out Western civilization and the white race itself? College students will tell you that a university education today is a guilt trip for whites. The purpose is to prevent whites from appreciating and absorbing their own culture and to make it difficult for whites to resist the unreasonable demands, quotas, reparations, etc. from people of color. To the questions, who am I and what am I? The white university graduate answers, a racist, a sexist, a homophobic oppressor. Neither parents, trustees, alumni, nor the general public are aware of the anti-white propaganda that masquerades as education. Now comes Harvard-educated Jew Noel Ignatiev, an academic at Harvard's W.E. Du Bois Institute for African American Research. Dr. Ignatiev is the founder of a journal, Race Trader, which has as its motto, treason to whiteness is loyalty to humanity. The journal's purpose is to, in his words, abolish the white race. In the very least, Dr. Ignatiev intends cultural and psychological genocide for whites. A statement by the editors on the website says that the new abolitionists do not limit themselves to socially acceptable means of protest, but reject in advance no means of attaining their goal. Dr. Ignatieff does not believe his agenda is controversial. He writes, "The goal of abolishing the white race is on its face so desirable that some may find it hard to believe that it could incur any opposition other than from committed white supremacists." Thus, he puts whites on notice. If they oppose this genocide, then they are white supremacists, simply for wanting to survive and to preserve their culture. According to the good doctor, the key to solving the social problems of our age is to abolish the white race. Make no mistake about it, he says, we intend to keep bashing the dead white males and the live ones, and the females too, until the social construct known as the white race is destroyed. Not deconstructed, but destroyed. So let me ask, what social construct will be left? A black one? A Hispanic one? Muslim? Asian? What about Jewish?
D. Imposing measures intended to prevent births within the group.
Joining us now is Alon Ziv, author of the new book titled Breeding Between the Lines, Why Interracial People Are Healthier and More Attractive.
Forcibly transferring children of the group to another group. Article 3. The following acts shall be punishable. A. Genocide. B. Conspiracy to commit genocide. C. Direct and public incitement to commit genocide. D. Attempt to commit genocide. E. Complicity in genocide. The protected groups. The law protects 4 groups: national, ethnical, racial, or religious groups. A racial group means a set of individuals whose identity is defined by physical characteristics.